Hello Virgos, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Virgo, I have pulled out two cards for you here to get started. And there's something interesting about this. There's something that is forming here. We're using the Lace of Destiny Oracle deck and the Moonology deck. This is the first card that came out. You have the rainbow. I asked, show me Virgo's energy. You had the rainbow, and then you had this card come out. Nothing is yet set in stone. The rainbow, okay, this is so interesting. There's something, it's almost giving me this really strong vibe here. Like there's some type of reality that's being created for you, and it's not set yet. It's not set, and it's also very changeable. Like you still have some sort of influence here on how a future is being created for you. Like the rainbow does talk about transformation and transitional periods. I'm also kind of getting like portal energy from this. Like it almost looks like that this is some sort of a golden portal like through this area. Thinking about rainbows too. Rainbows appear often after storms when the sun is starting to peek through and there's still moisture in the air, right? So are you through a storm here? You've gone through a storm? You're on the other side of a storm. It's like the clouds are clearing, but nothing is yet set in stone. Maybe even your mind is not set here, but it's giving me this strong, like, just before I turned the camera on, I was really getting this strong feeling here, like that the rainbow card is symbolizing like a portal, sort of like access into another reality, like a future for you. And it's not set in stone. So it's still being written. Something here is obviously still being written. But I mean, you know, like there's a possibility that maybe your mind is not set on something. You're going to need the tarot. The underlying card is the heart. That's a really beautiful card. This is trusting our heart space, trusting our feelings. This is being kind and caring and giving and loving to those around us, to ourselves. You have a large underline for the Moonology deck. Full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Right? And to end on the bring love into the situation and also have this card here is, yes, speaking to me. Okay, there's something that you needed to do here. There's some sort of a dream, and it's not something you can just dream and fantasize about. There's practical things that you need to do. There's action that you need to take. You did that. It's in the past. And then conclusions are within reach. So some type of ending. So maybe there's even like action that you needed to take in the past to end something here. And this really feels like just kind of showing up in your heart space here in a way that is maybe is helping a situation. Are you helping a situation? Were you helping a situation in the past with your heart, your kindness? Okay, that's the underline. We're needing the tarot. Which tarot deck do I want? I want this one. I don't know what it is. This is the Heaven and Earth deck. Yeah, maybe this one is. I don't know. I was calling the other one that. I don't know. All right. The rainbow. Virgo is the rainbow. Damn. Came in like a wrecking ball, honey. Okay, the Tower. That does feel like after the storm. Some type of catastrophe. The sun is coming out. The sun is literally like coming out in your life here. It's like fucking, If it would stop snowing here, that would be amazing. It's been snowing for 2 days. I don't know if other parts of Ontario or North America are getting it like this. My mom lives like 4 hours sort of northeast of me, and he's got a couple inches. The sun's out today, she said. I guess it's still snowing. But yeah, the rainbow. Now, often there's still clouds in the sky though, right? When the rainbow comes. So listen, what is the tower? What is the tower? What is the tower? I feel like the tower is something from the past because now you have the rainbow. What is the tower? What was the tower? The Knight of Wands. Wow. It could be, might have been chasing after something here. So a little bit of impulse energy centered on desire. Been somebody playing some type of a game here, game playing. Okay. Abandoned success, the Eight of Cups. Swiftness, the Eight of Wands. And the Hierophant. This tower moment looks like it had something to do in your life where whatever success you were building, you abandoned it. And I don't know if that is like a personal success, like personal relationship, or if that's something to do with work, and you went fast with this Eight of Wands. You go really fast here. They're interesting, right? These, like, you having a double 8. 8, 8, 5 with the Hierophant. It almost feels like connecting quickly with maybe some of you religion or spirituality, making some type of a commitment here. It also feels like, you know, when we feel disconnected or we are in the process of disconnecting ourselves from whatever was previously important to us. It's almost like going under the, getting yourself under the roof or under the wing of a mentor or a place where you feel safe, where it's stable. Tell me about the Hierophant. The Devil. What is this? Pleasure. Oh, fuck. It's the Six of Cups. All right, I'm kind of thinking these cards, because I will read them from left to right. I don't feel like they want to be read that way. And the Magician. This is looking, because this did not look like something you want to walk into unless you found yourself in a really bad situation. But because we have the Six of Cups here, although funny, in this deck it's called Pleasure, right? With right after the Devil. This is looking like something from your past, and that's what I can see you leaving. You're leaving here something from your past, doing this swiftly. Some sort of very toxic situation. Okay, so this is giving me all of the Tower and the Storm. You've left some type of very toxic situation here. It could have been a toxic marriage. It could be like, it could have something to do with religion. It could be some sort of like religious obligations that maybe your family or you know, you were born into this. This is not something that is easy to break down. This is held up by a lot of tradition. This Hierophant, particularly this one, like looking at this one is held up by a lot of tradition, a lot of money, a lot of resource, and a lot of societal support. So you're breaking the chains. You're breaking the chains in a way that you have been bound to this. Interesting. There's a bull and an elephant in the background. There's got to be some sort of symbolism behind that. I know the bull is Taurus. Is the elephant a symbol of Taurus? Well, right, with the Hierophant, like is the elephant? Here, I don't know if you've seen it. There's the bull and there's the elephant. Well, and whatever this was for you, you needed to make something different in your life. That's exactly here. You needed to, okay, so nothing is yet set in stone. And that kind of, like, that's your energy. So you have vacated yourself from something that would have been set in a lot of stone. It would have set a long time ago. And right now, nothing is set. It might feel like things kind of come and go. It might feel like things are sort of up in the air. Nothing is set in stone. Like really, like, let's just think about that. That means like everything is fluid right now. Anything could happen because none of it is set in stone. It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, the Devil and the Hierophant is definitely something that's set in stone, and you've moved away from that. Why is nothing set in stone? This is a very fluid cycle, Virgo. It's also like the rainbow aspect of it, like a storm subsiding and then the sun starting to kind of peek through and forming a rainbow. And, you know, like sometimes, I'm not trying to be negative here, but right, like sometimes the clouds will kind of come in again. You look out the window, you're like, oh, look at the rainbow. I can see some blue sky. The storms are over. We can go out. And then you go and you get your coat or you do whatever you do and you come back to the door and like, oh, the sun is gone. There's like more clouds that have come in. Right, like that. I'm just saying, like that is a possibility because nothing is set in stone. What the cycle is very curious. Why is nothing set in stone here for Virgo? The Princess of Wands. Something that someone has said. Something that someone has said. So something that you have said. Why? So why is nothing set in stone? Well, what was said? The Princess of Wands. The Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Princess of Cups. Some sort of emotional fulfillment or satisfaction here is dependent on a change occurring, trying to balance some type of a change. There's a possibility here too, with nothing is set in stone, of some type of reconciliation between you and another person. And I'm getting that with this Princess of Cups. Like the Princess or the Page of Cups is, you know, the apology card, is the olive branch card. But the Five of Pentacles is an indication that something here, there's distance. There's distance between you and another person. What, show me the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of giving me the vibe too, like it takes two people to do this, whatever this is. It could be a conflict that has arisen between you and another person. Oh, the Four of Cups. All right. With this underlying and looking at these cards, I feel like there is some way here that you have given of yourself a lot, or you have maybe even expressed yourself emotionally to someone here. You may have shared your feelings, your deeper feelings. I don't know if you have had any correspondence with someone after that point. I'm not really seeing anything here to indicate that you have or you haven't. I'm kind of inclined to believe that you haven't. It looks a little bit like somebody is unreceptive. Someone here is unreceptive. I mean, it could be you. Maybe too, if there's some way here that you have opened yourself up, shared a part of your feelings or emotions with another person, maybe didn't get anything back from that. It may kind of close you off a little bit, or you might feel judged. You may also be focused on the negative feelings of that. If this is not you, it's someone that you're dealing with. Whatever this emotional up in the air energy is, it's not set. This is not closed off. This is also not moving forward. So it's just kind of sitting. It's almost like the mortar has been mixed and it just keeps getting stirred, you know, to stop it from solidifying and hardening. There's definitely, now how this ties into this rainbow, I don't know. This rainbow. This looks toxic, man. I'm trying to figure out, like, is this the toxic thing that you left? Is there someone here trying to, oh, let me see. I don't want to steer this in the wrong direction. Like, let's see, what am I getting? What is this toxic stuff? Is this connected to this Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Four of Cups energy with the nothing is set in stone? What is this toxic stuff here? Dominion, the Two of Wands. Projecting the future. Projecting the future. That's why. There is definitely something going on here. Like, you feels like you were in a particular point in a cycle of manifestation that has to do with your future, and projecting it or trying to steer it in the direction that you desire it to be and fulfill itself. It would not be healthy, right? And I'm not saying that you are doing that. I'm saying actually that you may not be, which would be good. So there could be there's something very toxic here that has happened in your past. And so if that is influencing your projection of the future, please step back from that. Like, please step back from that, because that's not what your future is. However, you are in the middle of some very conscious and subconscious manifestation for your future. And if you focus too much on some sort of very toxic situation or relationship or family heritage that you've been involved in, you don't want to project that into your future, right? Like, you don't want to bring that into your life. And I don't necessarily think that you are. And this reading could even just be like a reminder. It's just like, you know what? Your future is still unfolding. The energies are still working through themselves. You know what it's giving me? Okay, it's giving me like if an example. No, this is not, this is way off in left field. And I do that because then everyone can kind of relate to it. It's nobody's particular story. So let's say that there's a room. Okay, I can relate to this because I have a lot of those rooms where I want to paint them. They really have not been painted in 20 or 30 years or longer, some of them. So, but the idea is, right, like you can just go and get the can of paint and you can say, okay, this is the color I want. I envision the room. It's going to be that color. And I'm just going to go get the paint and I'm going to start painting. You get to the paint store and they ask you, they say like, well, what kind of paint is on the walls right now? Is it a latex? Is it an oil? I'm like, well, I don't know. I think it's a latex. Who the fuck is using oil? Well, you said some of the paint could be old. Maybe it's an oil paint. Oh, well, I don't know, because if it is, you're either going to need a primer or you're going to then need to use another oil paint yourself. But I would suggest a primer because nobody really paints with oil inside the house anymore. So you're like, okay, that's not what I thought I was going to do, but okay, right? Like this, it's getting to the store and being open about what might be suggested to you or what the outcome could be. Because then the next step is, right, like painting is not the process. It's preparing to paint. It's patching the walls. It's caulking the baseboards. It's shit. It's taping things off if you're not really good at cutting a line, right? And even in some cases you should just tape it anyways because fuck. But anyways, right? Like it's, so you get to the paint store and you're like, I just came here to get paint. Like, wow. But if you want, so if I was at the paint store, I would say, okay, you're going to spend the next, what, 2 or 3 days painting. Maybe we'll extend that to 4 or 5 if you do the extra prep work, okay? But you're going to look at those walls for the next 20 years. Hopefully. My situation is probably 2 or 3 the way my life goes. So do you want to put in those, what do you want? What outcome? Because you can go paint them, but you're going to see bumps in the wall because you didn't patch it. You're going to see this, you can see that, right? It's like, it's to be open-minded to see how something comes in. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go with that. It's kind of sort of like that. Like, yeah, well then, okay. So then you kind of come back home. You thought you were going to come home with a paint can or 2. And you ended up coming home with some spackle. You ended up coming home with some caulking. You ended up coming home with a couple of different sanding points or levels of sand. What are they? Grit or whatever, right? And you may have also come home with a can of primer. So, but what that's doing though, right? Like that sort of like being open to what beyond what you perceived is going to set you up for a better long-term, right? Like a better long-term result. That's what this looks like. That's what this looks like to me that I see on the table. So, okay, the heart card is in the past. The Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, the heart card. Could be, I mean, that's somebody you loved. A person that you loved. Being in love. Could be your mother. Could be a partner, like it could be a partner too. So, but then a time to give rather than take. Bring love into the situation. A time to give rather than take. What was that? Did you get that right? Right? Like it's almost like it's coming across and saying this is a time where you needed to give, Virgo. Oh, you weren't sure what to do. The Hanged Man. Okay, you might have not been sure what to do here. And then bring love into the situation. You're not sure what to do. And then bring love into the situation. That ain't love. The King of Wands and Justice? Fuck. I don't know. Might be making love, but it's a Bring love into the situation. The King of Wands and Justice. You see, that's the thing. Love needs to be here. That's not love. This isn't love. The King of Wands is not a symbol of love. The King of Wands is a symbol of one's desire and will, sexual attraction. But justice, that's curious with justice. There's some unfinished business between you and somebody. That is very, very clear. There is seriously some unfinished business between you and someone. And maybe that's just it. Like, maybe that's why the Four of Cups is here. Because it's like, well, that's not love. That's not love. That's not love. And love is what, I want to say love is sort of what makes Virgo go round. It's like a nice energy. So I don't know if this King of Wands, what's going on with this? How does the King of Wands fit into this now? What the fuck was that? I swear I'm hearing noises. It sounded like a crow or a raven. You know, we need some ravens here. Get rid of the fucking rats. Where was that? Justine, did you hear that? Yesterday I was recording. I could have sworn I heard kids. Does somebody else hear that? Okay, what's with the King of Wands? Oh, love. There is love here. But it is unseen and it is unknown. There is love here. This ain't done. What it is. There's something here that is not finished between you and someone else. And I feel like that this is someone that there's probably a very strong attraction to. This person is your justice, but love needed to be brought into a situation and it was not. Yeah. So the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles. Well, that's a lot. I just heard it's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to Tipperary. The Empress and the Knight of Pentacles, right? Like it's almost, no, there's something going on here for you. Yeah. There is a relationship here that is not finished. I don't know if you want to hear that or not. I don't think it's this toxic thing. The King of Wands is not necessarily someone that you would be married to. Well, it's not really. That's not the symbol of that. There's I don't know. I was going to say, this looks complicated. And I want to say it looks complicated though, because I feel like there's a lot of areas here in your energy that Spirit is trying to talk about. And they may be connected through circumstance, space and time. They may be connected because they influence your thinking, right? So they're coming through in the reading. But yeah, no. There's something here between you and another person that is unfinished business, 100% Virgo. I'm going to go do the extended Virgo. In the extended, I'm going to ask, because this Two of Pentacles talks about harmonious change. I'm going to ask what harmonious change needs to occur in this situation and how does love succeed? The link to the extended is in the description below if you would like to follow me there. Thank you so much, Virgos. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.